tired of having the same boring pen and everybody keep taking your pen? Well, stay tuned and learn how to bling out a pen and make it sparkly. And if somebody take your pen, you know that is yours. Welcome to the tutorial of a bling pen. Hey R&B babe, so let's get into customizing this pen. As you can see, we're taking the pen apart. So you're going to take everything apart, the ink, the clicker, and everything else. You're going to put it to the side because you don't need it right now. That little clip that holds the pen, like if you want to clip it like on your shirt or anything, you're going to remove that. Once you remove it, it's going to have a little plastic piece that's still there. Either you can take the sanding paper that if you decide to get our kit, you can take the sanding paper and sand it down, or if it's still giving you a little trouble, you can take an X-Acto knife and just shave that part down. Then you're gonna go and you're gonna want to sand the rest of the pen. As you see here, I'm sanding all around the pen. I'm taking all the markings, wordings, everything off the pen. You want to make sure that you prep your pen and any other project in that matter really, really well, because you want it to be roughed up so your stones have something to stick on when you're prepping any item. So that's what you see me doing here. You're gonna have you make sure when you have the pen, it's no longer gonna have that smooth finish. It's gonna have that rough feeling, and that's exactly what you want to see. You see all the particle debris that's coming off, that's exactly what you want. So just keep making sure you go and you just keep sanding, 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 sanding until you feel that you have got everything off, that it looks roughed up. It doesn't look like a brand new pen anymore. That is the whole purpose of prepping your item. So as you see now, I'm just making sure that the clear part, which is the plastic part, that I'm just getting all that done. Um, I'm showing you the different grits that we have in there. If you want more details about the different sanding papers that come in there, please visit our website and at rhinestonesinthebox.com, and they give you more details about the whole kit. And if you were to purchase the kit, we also give printout instructions on step by step, and now along you have the video as well. So once you finish prepping and everything like that, the kit will have an alcohol pad that's in there. So you grab your alcohol pad, which you'll see me do that in a few seconds. You grab your alcohol pad. You want to make sure that you really wipe down the pen. Go down the full shaft of the pen as if when you were sanding, you went down the full shaft of the pen, around the pen and everything else. So you want to make sure you get all that debris off the pen. Um, with the alcohol pad, you should be able to, it should be still moist enough that you can be able to wipe down your surface as well, because you want to make sure you get that debris off your surface as well, because you don't want any debris to get caught into your glue adhesive. So you see I put everything down, and then we're going to end up going to our next step. Now we're on to part two of prepping the pen before we bling it. This is the most tedious part of everything, is the actual prep work. Once you get into the bling part, yes, it will be time consuming, but at least you'll have everything done. So this is an optional choice that you can do. Because I want my background to match my stone, I end up getting a black Sharpie pen. And I'm coloring in that plastic part, clear part that you have seen where you could be able to see the ink inside. I'm going to color that down. So if I had a purple pen, I would go and color purple, red. If I had a red pen, I would color it red. Sharpie is just as good. You can use acrylic paint, but the Sharpie is it does just as good as a job, and it dries quicker than doing acrylic paint. And if you need to get a Sharpie marker real quick, you can get it from I was about to say the dollar store, but it's a $1.25 store now. But you get it from Dollar Tree, or you either get a pack of different Sharpie markers because you may want to use it in different projects and stuff like that. And as you see, you no longer see the clear part, and we're going to be good to go into our next part of our part of blinging the actual pen. So now we're in part three of this, right? So all rhinestones are from our shop. These are 3mm jelly rhinestones. For the glue adhesive that we're using, I like to use the B7000. It has the precision chip. This is a smaller, little travel size one. Like I said earlier, if you get the kit, everything comes in there, from the wax pencils to the rhinestones to the pen and everything else. So you want to make sure that you're putting um, a layer of glue down A little goes a long way. So that's the whole thing of when you're starting to bling, learning glue control. So you're going to end up eventually seeing me flip it around so it could be a better angle in the camera for you can be able to see. But as you can see as of right now, I didn't put a lot of glue down, but I put enough that I can be able to have my rhinestones stick on. You don't want to put too much glue where the glue is actually oozing through the rhinestones and overflowing, because then you're gonna have a cleanup, a bigger mess to clean up at the end. So we're going to do with every project what's called a foundation row. So this is our foundation row that we're creating right now. Like I said, we're using 3mm jelly rhinestones. You can go bigger if you choose to. I prefer to do 3mm. I would suggest don't go any bigger than 4mm if you're going to use single rhinestones. Um, and if you choose to do a bling mix, you can, but I wouldn't suggest to put too many bulky ones because you have to remember this is a round shape. This is not a flat shape. So once you finish going and putting all your rhinestones around, as you see, I'm making sure that I'm pushing it down, that it's actually hitting on the actual pen. You want to make sure that you firmly press your rhinestones down. And then that trick right there. If you didn't catch it, rewind it back, right? You want to make sure that your foundation line is as straight as possible. If not, it will mess up the rest of your project, right? So that's why I put it down, to make sure that all my stones wasn't tipping over. And if it was, when I pushed it down on the table, it pushed it right back up. So after you have that done, you make sure all your rhinestones are down. Now you see me going down to the second layer, right? We're doing what's called the honeycomb method. Honeycomb method is I'm going and placing my stone on my second row in between my first two stones on my top row. And if you want to see a video more of me detailing the how to do the honeycomb method, just comment below and I'll be more than happy to do a demonstration on that and go more into depth of the honeycomb method. But that's what I'm doing. I'm almost finished my second row. Remember, I put enough glue down to put my first and second row. If you don't feel comfortable going into your second row, what you can do is just do your first row, let it dry, if this is your first time doing it, and then going back to make sure that your stones don't shift. I didn't do this because I've been doing this for a while, but that is a tidbit that you can do when you're new to it. And as you can see, our stones are shining because, like I said, they're from rhinestones in a box, and everything is in place. So now I'm going to add some more layer of glue down. And I think on this one, I just did enough glue for a couple of rows. The um, dry time on the B7000 is, and I'm going to double check while we're doing this voiceover, is the dry time on here is 3 minutes. And the complete cure time, where it's fully cure, is 24 to 48 hours. So remember that when you're placing your glue down on any object, if you choose to use this glue or any other adhesive in that matter, make sure that you look to see what the dry time is so you know how much time you have to work with your stones before that dry glues up. Once that dry glues up, you would have to remove the glue, or you would have to put another layer of glue on top. So to save you money, because the whole thing is you want to make sure that you're being effective in any project that you're doing, especially if you choose to sell it, make sure that you pay attention on the back of the instructions. Every glue adhesive has some type of instructions on it on what the drying and the cure time is. So like I said, it's 3 minutes. So you have to end up figuring out how much stones you can place within 3 minutes. Do smaller lines and then eventually work yourself up once you start practicing and stuff like that. So as you can see, I'm just still placing the stones. We are on line number 4. As you get used to this, it's actually a quick workup. I think for this whole video, from beginning to end, for me to do this whole blinging, it took me less than 25 minutes to do it. But beginning, it probably take you about maybe 30-40 minutes or whatever the case may be. Just make sure you put something nice, some music on, or talk on the phone, or watch a movie. I usually try to watch movies, or I go live and work on different things and come hang out with you guys and stuff like that. So Just find something interesting, because before you know it, because the whole thing of blinging, you want to be able to relax. It's supposed to be like a therapeutic thing for you to be able to relax and enjoy it. You don't want to end up hating it. So find something comfortable to wear. If you got your little drink, get your little sippy sip on, and just go at it and just bling and just keep practicing and practicing and practicing until you finally get to the level that you want to get to. All right. So now we're on the final end of this video, right? So I showed you the beginning of when we was blinging it, and we did a couple of rolls, and we just kept working up, working up, working up until we're right here, right? So now we're going to go to the end of this video. And as you can see, we're still placing the rhinestones in between the first two rhinestones at the top, which, remember before, what did I call it, you guys? If you commented below, then maybe you could be able to wear plies. We'll see. Or a tidbit from me, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, just joking. Um, that's the honeycomb method, right? So we're continuing to doing that honeycomb method all the way down. Um, I like to work on the table. Some people like to put it in a rhinestone shaker, but I like to work on the table. It's easier for me. If another thing, you have a hard time flipping stones over, you can get a oh my goodness, what is that thing called? Uh, um, when you use resin and it's like a pie. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to link it at the end because I cannot think of it. I'll probably insert it somewhere around here because my mind just went blank. And I mean, it is what it is. That happens to everybody, right? Anyway, you see me going around, and we're still just adding our stones. You see that we're starting to get a little space left, right? And as we get closer, we're going to see exactly what I end up doing. Because some people will stop and leave that little gap in, because that's where you're going to end up screwing all your components back to your pen, right? But because I use 3mm stones, I can take it all the way down the round part of the shaft of the pen without losing any stones. And if you guys want to verify that, I can end up showing a video of that pen or any other pen that I blinged that still has the stones still attached. And this all goes back to your prep work. If you prep correctly, you won't have a problem with losing stones. I mean, everything is handmade, so it's not 100% perfect that you won't lose any stones, but the likelihood of you losing any stones because you did your prep work will be great. It'll be higher. The percentage of you not losing stones will be higher because you prep correctly. So as you see, I'm going down, and you see how the 3mm fits perfectly into that little slot down there. If y'all do see it, let me know. Comment it below, and then we can chat about it in the comments, or I can make another video, or whatever the case may be. But as you see, if I would have went into doing 4mm, that wouldn't have been a possible thing. So that's a good. Another thing too is to start learning your rhinestone sizes, because once you learn your rhinestone sizes, it makes it easier for you to be able to do projects, and you can be able to figure out how to manipulate and put rhinestones. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. When you think about it like a puzzle, it's literally you literally putting a puzzle piece together. And if you're not sure about rhinestone sizes, we have rhinestone charts that you can download free on our website, and we put what the common use sizes are and what they're used for. Like 3mm, you can use those on nails. That's another thing that you can use it on. And as you see, I'm putting glue down. Remember, I said I take it all the way down to the whole rim of the pen, right? There you go. You see, I'm putting it there. Like I said, if I would have went 4mm, I wouldn't have been able to do it, or it still would have been a little gap. So we're gonna watch as I continue to put it around. I'm sorry I got out of the frame, but you'll see at the end that um how every stone is sticking on. That's the only funny thing, y'all. This is a side little tidbit. When you're recording, sometimes you don't realize that you're out of the frame until you actually go back and have to start editing and stuff like that. But you see, I came back into the frame. One thing I try to do is make sure that I'm looking at the camera, just to make sure that I'm still into the frame and everything. But as you see, I took it all the way down, right? Now It doesn't look like it, but I'm making sure that all the stones are still down, that nothing's popping up, because that's the other thing that you want to do before it fully start curing, because once it cures, the stone is just going to pop off, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to actually put our pen back together. Some people would just wait until the pen is 100% dry. You can do that. In this case, when I do my pens, I actually put it back together because remember when I explained to you about the dry time. The dry time is 3 minutes. So for the most part, it's dry. It's not cure, but it's dry. So I can be able to put my pen back together. Comment below to let us know the next tutorial you'd like to see.